John was just my roommate, and he would just hear us from the back of the apartment where we were writing the songs, and he would always say, "You guys have no rhythmic talent at all. You need a drummer." And so he drafted himself in, and the first time he sat in was actually with remember 2 Sharpies and just a snare drum, and you were like, "Trust me, it's okay. The Sharpies aren't gonna break. It'll be fine." And then like halfway through trying to play the first song, like there was ink just like scattered all over the room.
I'm sort of a lesser Keith Moon. I'm really restless all the time, and guitar was my first love, but I think I have definitely found my style rhythmically playing in this band.
So I had a band before in the early 2000s where I was sort of, I just wrote the lyrics, and it was supposed to be that I was just gonna be like the guy behind the guy. Like he was gonna be Elton John, and I was gonna be Bertie Taupin. I was just gonna like completely behind the curtain, right, and just like write the lyrics, but being sort of the outspoken asshole type that I am, I sort of got pushed more and more towards the front of the stage. And then after I quit that band to go back to school, I met John at San Francisco State, and first he tried to get me to sing in the band that he was in then, and then this all just sort of coalesced with me being the front man for 3 guys that had all already been the singer-songwriters in other bands. It's like a super group of people that were never famous for anything else.
Yeah, right?
For me, it's just been I've just dedicated my life to this, so I own a little indie label that is just kind of been a stepping stone, Loves and Heat Records, and it's just been a way to hopefully help other artists get somewhere place bigger and better, and I'm hoping that's going to happen with us as well.
I knew John through like another band we were in. I went up to Ed, asked if I could join her band. He was like, "That's great. Can you play keyboards?"
Right.
And like I didn't really, but I said yes. It was a lie. I just wanted to join. And then
Well, and I was really excited because I wanted us to have a utility
I didn't meet you
band.
yet.
I kept calling it that, and I was like, "Yeah, you can play mandolin and banjo." And
That's what it started out.
Yeah.
Right, like a shortstop. He was just gonna be able to do everything.
Yeah.
Then,
So you didn't know how to play keyboards
well,
at
I
all?
knew I
or-
messed around with it. Like, I had a basic idea.
He wasn't a keyboard player.
I never played for a
He
band.
totally bullshitted me. He's like, he's like, "I heard you're starting a band with John. Can I join?" And I was like, "As long as you can play keyboard, that's what we really need as a keyboard player." And he was like, "Yeah, of course, no
Well,
problem."
you said like you hesitated. Either you can or you can't. I was like, I can.
You know, we played really early on in the band. We played the free first Friday show at the Uptown, and it was like so packed that like the bouncers were up front like freaking out about like fire hazard shit, and like
We had to text each other to like make sure that we loaded on.
yeah, we couldn't even find each other before the show started. It was just like so massive, and to step on stage and be really early in the process. Like we had played our first show less than 3 months before that, so we'd only been a band for about less than 6 months, and there was hundreds of people out there, and it sort of gave us a taste of ambition. I think before that it was like, this is cute and fun, and then being in front of that many people and seeing the reaction, I don't know, it gave me a little bit of madness started to creep in. I think at that point, like
Anthony
maybe we
wrote
could
it,
really
too.
do something with this.
I've actually met people where they say, I'm going to start a band and be in a band, and if it doesn't break, then I'm just going to go do something else. And it's like, that's completely the wrong take of like playing music or doing anything.
I got
It's,
advice
it's
before-
love, you know?
Before all
It's
that,
love.
the number one rule is you have to have chemistry and like people in your band.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't start a band with people that you think you might end up hating, because it's gonna
'Cause then you'll
suck
probably
really
hate
bad, and you're gonna feel like indebted to those people, rightfully so, because you've all joined into a contract. But don't take it lightly. Don't start a band without intending to be married to those people.
It's the
You know,
most
it's-
intense-
I would say.
It's the most dedicated relationship I've been in my life. So.
This one right here.
The fact that I'm echoing what Hector says, I think, is a testament to what we're doing, and that's just don't think about what's at the end of it, and don't get distracted, and just be driven because it's what you do, and not because it's what you're forcing yourself to do.
Yeah.
And be okay with failing every once in a while, and just love what you're doing. Otherwise, you're fucked.
When we started, it was most of the songs had been recorded by myself already as a solo recording project, so that's kind of how the band started. But we kind of evolved into me just like bringing ideas or riffs, and other people bring ideas too, and we just see how they played out, and just keep tweaking them. But as of late, with Brian moving to LA, we've kind of gone full circle and kind of gone back to that where I'm like demoing things, writing songs for myself or recording them and presenting to them to kind of change it however you see fit, see what works. And we've been playing for like 5 or 6 years now, so I kind of write. I feel like I try to write to all of our strengths, and so it's more intuitive.
Yeah, you
And
actually.
I know like Brian's gonna twist this into something awesome.
Yeah, he writes really good drum beats and that. I would never think of those things. Some of the stuff that he writes for drums, it's kind of amazing to be able to take his main idea and kind of make it, shift it a little bit, but Like I would have never thought of half the stuff I'm playing. So I'm pretty lucky in that respect. But I think we all kind of listen to each other pretty well. And,
We all have very unique styles, so it's
yeah.
a cool thing to see them come together in a weird way.
I've been playing drums since about 16 years old. I started in my garage with a bunch of like-minded high schoolers who were into noise music, and we just kind of made walls of sound, and I learned how to make obnoxious noises with drum equipment pretty early on, and then I started to refine it more and play more traditional rock and roll in college with a band called No Doctors. And then, long story short, I moved to the Bay Area and we started playing in 05. Yeah, casually.
Oh yeah, the band didn't start until like 2000.
Live game stuff.
Yeah, Nate
Seven.
landed. Nate landed
January.
in 07, 2007, and we started playing music together.
I played bass in high school. I was in the band in high school, in grade school and high school. I was playing brass instruments, and the high school had a jazz band. So I started playing guitar with that, and I was also playing small groups on the side, but we didn't have a bass player, and I kind of started getting interested in that, and I just kind of have always maintained that. So I kind of started in high school, and I was in a few rock bands too, but mostly learned a lot through jazz, small groups and big bands. Had a few teachers who were like good mentors for me.
It's pretty satisfying playing with musicians and be able to like bend to the common sympathy is a term I like to adhere to. Whereas you know the people you're playing with so well, and you know like what their intentions are more or less, that it almost comes to like a psychic realm at times. And that's pretty good.
I think our biggest goal right now is just touring out to Chicago to record out there. We have 3 days booked with Steve Albini, and we're going to try to finish it in those 3 days and put that out as soon as possible on vinyl. And that's as far ahead as I'm looking right now, really.
know this town is full of ghosts. They're just playing this.
I think I started playing keyboard in the, I want to say the mid-90s. My dad had a keyboard and he told me I could start playing it, so I started screwing around with that and taught myself. And I was really into Tori Amos. I think my singing style probably comes from me liking Rush and Geddy Lee. And you know, then I started writing my own songs. Been doing that for a long time. And at some point I think I got pretty good at it. I think I first started playing like keyboard shows like about 7 years ago. I think it's when I first started doing it. And I started like developing it, and I put on a wig. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put on a wig. And I started wearing a white suit because I was trying to dress like Jor-El from Superman. And then a couple of years later, I had my friend design this outfit for me based on Jor-El's outfit from Superman. And then in my mind, I always kind of imagined I was kind of like a musical Batman, because I was like slowly, progressively like developing my style and like my outfit. So, you know, first I got the wig, and then I designed the costume, and then I would start to paint my face with makeup and kind of get more and more in character. So in my mind, I'm like Batman. Usually, it's hard to play. Well, usually it's hard to play with other solo acts, because most of the time people think a solo act is like someone who's going to cover a bunch of Bob Dylan songs, so that's always hard. So recently, I don't even say I'm a solo act, I just say my band's name is Magnanimous, and then by the time I play the show, they ask me how many members I have, and I say, oh, it's just me. I discovered, like, in hindsight, that a lot of my lyrics are probably just like, someone brought it up to me, a lot of my lyrics probably are movie quotes and things like that. It's like a lot of 80s influence and stuff like that. But really, most of my songs I write, I'm like, it's almost like stream of thought, where it just kind of comes to me, like I'm playing something, and if I enjoy it and it sounds good to me, I'll, you know, follow up on that. And then, like, an hour or so later, I'm like, oh, I wrote a pretty good song. But it's kind of weird. It's like not a conscious thing. I can really, like, I can't just like sit down and be like, it's time to write a song, and put my pen to paper. And I don't usually do that either. Usually the melody comes first, and so I'm like kind of like mumbling the song, like, and then I'll write words to fit in to the song. So usually, the song almost always comes first before the words do. Kids, I believe in you, and dreams come true, and the wizard clown is always watching you, so work hard.
know, besides Tori Amos, anybody other like kind of piano singer-songwriter type people that you like?
Who else? I like Kate Bush, Elton John. I think who else is Cynthia? Oh, Randy Newman. Wait a second. Randy Newman. Said I had to mention him. I love Randy Newman. I really love Randy Newman.
Turn the guitars down. It's time to sculpt the sound. The volume's too high. He is not horsing around. Turn the guitars down. It is the classic standoff. We like to play at 11. You like to turn us off. Turn the guitars down.
I've always been fascinated with dreams. They seem like this endless plane where there's this huge part of your existence where your brain is running wild, and I've always been really attracted to it. I think there's a lot of untapped energy in dreams, and I think it's something that everyone has in common. It seems like a totally arbitrary topic, which is weird because everyone experiences it for at least 8 hours every day of their life. There's the expression, letting your hair down. This is like letting your pants down. It's like pantsing yourself on stage. Because you can. It's about being free. This is what this show is about. It's about like me getting off on what I can do.
The Missing Box at www.ninthfloorradio.com.